All right, real quick, just to explain what that was. I don't know if you could hear that going off, or if it just cuts the audio off as I'm in the middle of conversation. But what's happening is that there's an alarm that's going off in this device, and it's going off to remind me that I need to start talking. Get to work, bitch! That's the alarm going, So I should be up and ready to go on point when that alarm goes off and hit start. And all along this way, I have a timeline. It's been about... actually, it's been fucking near 2 hours. Oh, no, I don't know. I don't know. Don't quote me on anything yet. I don't know. I haven't had a chance to look at this yet. In fact, I can't even get this data off this phone right now, to be honest with you. I got a computer that's shut down. The master brain is going to process the asset management machine, which is going to download this shit every fucking day. Sorry for the language, but get over it. Because it's going to happen a lot. This computer that I'm seeking funds for, that the organization is seeking funds for, I'm seeking funds for it, because right now there is no organization unless documents are signed, period, which involves special event permits. It involves signature of sponsorship agreements between the community sponsor, the fiscal sponsor, and yeah, I'm going to need a financial sponsor. I really need, this is going to take a good chunk of change for the simple fact of the insurance. Well, the jury's out. Let me get that back to you. Because I'm hoping that the insurance or liability issues that are going to go along with this can be deferred to be deferred amongst the organization that should be taking the grunt of that there and responsibility for protecting all of our rights and not just mine. Now, both parties, actually both of them, have a stake in the game as far as, they have some meat in this bone here, and they're the ones that are responsible for providing that. So they should also be the ones that are responsible for managing and maintaining the intake and the whole process of it. Because that's what they're designed to do. My organization is designed to do something different, which is, I believe, about leadership training, education, awareness, being on task and on point with a community, and from a direction that is not selling them something or trying to lead them, to buy it's not this is not an advertising or marketing ploy at all. And I hope that people don't think that. Simply because there's so many moving parts in this and elements that must be under control, command and control. Those elements that are thrown out there. It needs to be this detailed of an organization that intakes things. Because that's basically what we're going to be doing. Intaking knowledge, and we're going to be outputting wisdom. Okay? So I wanted to say again that what is happening there is that the alarm is going off in the morning. And if I'm still not talking about something and I haven't wrapped it up myself, then I need to continue to dismiss that snooze bar, because that snooze bar is going to give me the 5-minute period in which to continue to rant. And it's going to also remind me to bring it back to point. So every 5 minutes, I'm going to, ramble, and I'm going to get a point, and I'm going to come back to it. And that's going to be that's my trigger to come back to life and move on. Because it's very easy to get stuck in a position here and get comfortable. That has been the biggest challenge of my existence in this little universe that we call the House of Legends. By the way, which is the House of Legends is located in the historical home of Prince Erik of Denmark. That's right. A Danish prince lived here in the 1930s with his new wife, and this was their home when there was nothing out here. It was surrounding was just land, open. The sea was developing its charter. The history that is involved with this home and this location is very prevalent to the story that we're going to be telling and how it's going to unfold here. The House of Legends represents quite a bit. How do I say this? Okay, my partner in this venture, when we discussed this, when I first originally came to her with the idea, with the idea, and said, this is what we're going to do, girl. And it was that kind of a conversation, let me tell you. It was very off the cuff. I had 10 things going at once. She probably walked in this room and thought to herself, what the fuck, but she didn't. I was very very grateful for her friendship and loyalty in coming here and committing to sitting down and listening to me rant for hours, because you know I did. And start, stop. Anyway, the thing that caught me the most about her reaction was, and I mean this in the funniest of ways, because it really was truly just, it was an epic thought, an epic emotion that overcame someone, and she finally realized that, wait a minute, this really is bigger than us. It's bigger than you. It's bigger than me. It's not just about videotaping drag queens or, promoting circus clowns or, or the new circus that's in town. No, it's not. Legends have no identity or connection with any one. They're everywhere. There are legends in every area of human interest or that can be imagined. There's the legendary bra maker. There's the legendary. I gotta be careful where I want to do that one. Legendary drag queen. And, legendary DJ. Legendary mathematician. Legendary basketball player. Legendary. You get my point. But I believe that we're going to stick towards more local civic, local-based humanitarians and idea creators. The people that are actually foot on the ground in that community. This cannot be an organization that is about filtering from the top down. This is an organization that is designed from the bottom up. You need to provide me with the knowledge. Give me the knowledge, and I will provide you with the wisdom. It's that simple. Because it can't work the other way. I can't teach you something you don't want to be taught. I've tried to lead you to the water, but you refuse to drink. So therefore, it doesn't matter. You either want to connect or you don't. It exists. It's here. It's a very real thing. I have no control over anything here except for myself. So, trust. Do you think I'm about to put myself out there and have my head chopped off? I hope not. I'm not a martyr. I did not initially feel that this was what I wanted to do. I was scared to death. I was actually ready to leave this place the first 2 weeks that I was here. In fact, I had moved everything out. It was all packed up and ready to go. And the only thing that brought me back was somebody's cry for help, that he said, please don't. And I stayed. So I was from that moment forward, I was committed to being the, I've been called everything from Charles Manson to, well, I don't know what else. It doesn't bother me. It did used to. I think it was part of the problem of being different. One has to feel obligated to be like shamed or feel guilt because you are different. I'm the bitch that I am. I'm the motherfucking bitch that I am because of the experiences that I went through, not you. So, I'm looking forward to the music that I'm going to get to create with all this too, because I'm so friggin', I can't believe, I can't actually. I'm old enough now to know that my entire career, my entire life, has been the accumulation of these events with very legendary people. Now is not the time to go into names, but if you've been paying attention to or following a lot of my public displays of affection for the world through the social media, because I have maintained a pretty tight loop on it. I mean, up until these last few months, I have been dead set against any and all technology. I've had a real bad problem with what it's doing in the dehumanization and the collection of the data and how there's so much smart technology out there and all these dumb people using it. Come on, it's a time bomb. It's an explosion. It's a doomsday ready to happen. It is happening. Come on, Snowden. All the information is being leaked to us slowly but surely for you to make your own, hopefully to desensitize you to the idea and to get the conversation and debate out there. But, you really don't have a choice in this information because you got to understand something. What is it? 6 corporations own everything, and, especially all the media and all the content, everything that you're being delivered content-wise has been created for the sole purpose of turning you into one thing or another. You're being used for something. Not very little of this knowledge is being given to you to benefit you in any way, shape, fashion, or form of which you would have a choice in. Say, oh, don't tell them, you'll be free. Oh no, you don't want to have pass bomb. No panic. Oh no, you'll screw it maybe more. Oh, don't tell them. Oh God, no. I really wish they'd get over that, because I think that people as a collective species, especially nowadays, with all the access to the with Google having all the knowledge, and every kid in town being able to just fucking ask Google, we should be able to come up with better solutions. And I tell you, I don't like this staying at the table in the status quo. Anybody who's sitting at a table right now in a small church or an organization or a group, okay, if you're sitting on that table and you think that you're trying to save something, it's time for you to step off the table and let somebody else. You need to guide somebody else. You need to be a deacon, or you need to be something else. Because if you're sitting at a table and you're not listening and you're speaking, get up out of the table. You're not supposed to be there. This is not the time for you to be at that table. Remove yourself. You have served a purpose. That's why you sat at that table. From my fucking lips, no, I don't know how I'm going to say that, but I trust in the fact that every morning I'm praying for God to speak through me and not allow me to walk away with a tongue. Because again, I'm praying that this is not about me. I don't want to be this. I don't want to be famous. I don't. Because I know what it comes with that. That's the sacrifice I'm making. Now, this is the cross I'm nailing myself to. And fuck you for thinking ill of me because I make that fucking correlation. But you know what? Fuck you, I will. I'm going to be putting myself out there for fucking the world and ever in eternity to look at and say, he failed miserably. No, I know that's not going to happen. I have no fear. Because I have turned all of this over to my higher power. To the angelic presence, the divine beings that are around me, helping me, pushing me. All that magic that happens behind the scenes. All those things and elements and forces that we cannot see. And just because you cannot see it doesn't mean that it exists, and it does. So again, a big part of this is when choice and the choice, when it comes down to somebody having to make a choice, all of heaven can make all of those elements in place and put the timing and everything at hand for someone. I'm avoiding saying me, but when you put something out of the universe, it immediately begins pulling strings to make those things happen. Because it takes event to event. It takes connections, pushing energy through in order to make something physical in reality. Stopping the UPS driver from making a delivery, or getting a flat tire because of a nail that fell out of a truck, or cracking your windshield because of a rock that fell out of a tanker truck 50 feet down the road. You were nowhere near it. I wasn't tailgating. Well, it didn't matter. It happened. Big deal. Move on. Choices and decisions that we are faced with in the moment, and our ability to have that, having that ability to make that choice. That's again something that's really scaring me with these kids that are. The technology is taking the decision-making process away from them. They do not have the decision-making ability. It's that simple. All right, so that's 13 minutes. We're going to go ahead and wrap that up, and I do believe that's almost an hour's worth of talk show. Thank you and good night. My name is Ian Smiley, and Mac Wood approved this script. I love it. All right, good. The next part of the show should be video.